Howdy, welcome back to the channel. This is Matthew Pisgotti. We're talking about the piggy bank, part of the animal farm ecosystem, part of the greater DRIP ecosystem. How do you keep track of your time lock stakes? How do you know what's going on with them? How do you get to the nitty gritty? We want a calculator or some type of viewer, and there's not a lot out there yet. Like the garden I use that one scheduler that I really enjoy seeing all the extra data from, all the extra data points. The best one I've seen for the piggy bank so far, I'm going to go ahead and share with you, is this drip.formulate.finance/piggy-bank. You can just go to drip.formulate.finance and click on the piggy bank tab. So, this is a new section to this viewer, even if you've donated for the premium access in the past, previously. They're asking here for premium access. So they want around 15 BUSD, or they've given some equivalencies here depending on how you're donating to get access to the premium features. However, even without the premium features, there's actually a lot of information here that we don't normally have. We're going to talk about the different portions. I'm going to go ahead and jump to what I think is most convenient or most beneficial about this that a lot of you probably would really want to see. So under piggy banks, there's this minimize button, by the way, if you want to minimize or expand all your piggy banks if you have a lot that may be useful when you're looking at the site. Under piggy banks, it's going to list each of your stakes, whether they're locked or unlocked. And you're going to see my main stake here that has referrals. You kind of see the total value of my piglets, and you're going to see time since last action. This is one of the most important ones probably because a lot of you are asking, why can't I compound yet? Has it been 24 hours? This tells you down to the minute and seconds how long it's been. So if you were, for instance, like myself, I was trying to get these all in one kind of time frame and stop having them be all scattered, because they were. I had them scattered a couple hours apart originally. Don't ask me how or why. So if you're waiting on one, maybe one says 20 hours, but the other one already says 24 hours, you know you have about 4 hours to wait if you want to try to line them up around the same time frame as I have here. You can see 4 minutes. This one's 7 minutes, 7 minutes, 7 minutes. Yeah, so I let that one go a few minutes too long, but you can see here, yeah, that's going to be really useful. So max payout for each of these is going to convert the truffles to a dollar value if you have premium access, and show you the percentage remaining before the max and the value of how many you've sold versus your max payout in truffles. So, this big number down here of the max payout is in truffles. That would help you estimate a dollar value. Now, of course, this is going to function kind of similarly to the garden as far as I understand, which means that those piglet values and thus the value of 1 million point whatever truffles works to say it's the same conversion as the plants and seeds in the garden. If those piglets go down in price naturally, and the truffles go down in price or change price due to the value of a single piglet, then that max payout dollar amount's really not going to be as valuable. However, if you had a stake that was already matured or a stake that was about to mature and finish its time lock period, then this max payout would be extremely useful. It's also kind of cool to see like the overall value here, and how many truffles are available. This is a good one. So if I'm monitoring this from somewhere else, I don't have access to my actual wallet, but I have my wallet ID. This is also another great site to use for that. So let's say you're at work and you don't actually want to put your MetaMask, your Trust Wallet, whatever on there, and maybe you're not using the mobile site. I don't like using my phone for such things as a rule. So if I were to just use my wallet ID, that's all I need to view this site. I don't need my secret key. So if I'm at work or on the go, I can pop in and see how many truffles I have available for claiming or compounding, which is pretty useful to me. I like that. And again, this actual value of your piglets is neat to see, but not incredibly useful to me, because those prices decay as they should over time to give new buying power, better buying power for the later people coming in. I've not heard any confirmation from Forex Shark that the piglets decay. He doesn't like that word, but decay the same way that the garden does. I haven't heard that confirmation, but he mentioned so many times that these function similar to the garden that I want to say that maybe it does. There's just some added features from the garden that he says improves the whole ecosystem. Something like the max payout. He says is a really big benefit versus the garden because someone who's draining only, they're going to hit their max payout eventually, and they're going to stop draining the system. And then they'll get out of the way, and then everybody else can make their money if they're keeping the system healthy and doing it properly. But some people may just want to drain until they max out, and that is a strategy as well. It's your funds. You got to do whatever you want with them, right? What else is on this viewer? We have time since we locked it, how much is locked here, and then the exact date and time of unlocked. Of unlocked date and time. So I really like that rather than just seeing this countdown, although we do have this cool little progress bar, that'll be satisfying to watch. I hope he's coded it to turn like yellow and green as we get closer. If it's red, that's fine. But I would like that. He should add that in if it's not a feature yet. But this is great. I like seeing this date and time. We could actually set a reminder for ourselves. We may have a daily reminder to compound, but we could set a nice little reminder. I could say July 7th at 4 o'clock. I need to check in and see the daily value of my awesome matured steak, although I probably would have already been excited before that and already know that date. So that's really useful. You could set your calendar by that. Oh, it does turn yellow. Look at that. It gets orange and then yellow. I bet it turns green. So that's exciting. You're going to have referral information down here. Right now it's just paused because Dogs version 2 is not available. When that Dogs V2 token is out and about, you'll have to actually have Dogs staked in, I think, the single asset farms that once those unpause. Depending on the amount of dogs you have, it will control how much referral percentage you get from new referrals. So you can see here it's kind of a Fibonacci sequence where 1% for 2 dogs, 2% for 3 dogs, 3% for 5 dogs, so on and so forth. So if you have 13 dogs staked, you could get 5% on your referrals. And remember, those referrals deposit into this numero zero stake here. That's your main stake, your unlocked stake. That's where referral should be going. That's why it just has an index of 0. You'll still be able to do all the things in here like compound, deposit, sell, but this is where your referral stakes will go, and you'll get more the more dogs that you have. Hey, look, Pancake Swap is working again. That was giving me trouble for days. So that's your referral information. That'll be useful. And then my share of the contract. This is really useful, especially if you're a bigger player, to see what's the total contract value. Is it going up or down? How many total piglets are in the system? Pig's price, and then what the price of a piglet is. Now this is starting way lower than plants, so I'm actually kind of interested to see where this goes. I love making these videos with things like this on the screen because it's a great snapshot for me and for you. If you're bored, you can always bookmark it and come back. And I always reference things like this in my later videos because this is a great snapshot. Piglets right now are about 2 cents. I remember when I got in on the plants were about $6, and then later down the road they're like 12 cents now or something. But the plants were $30, $40, $50, whatever. So it's interesting to me that piglets are starting so low. Although maybe he wanted to increase the buying power earlier on to make sure that the smaller players could compound and actually make some progress from the word go. So we'll see. I do know that in the garden, for example, the price per plant, which essentially amounts to price per seed, those are piglets and truffles here, did have some moments where the price actually increased. It ticked upward. So perhaps that's possible here as well if the contract balance explodes and continues to go up. And again, remember, this price doesn't really matter all that much to us, except that it does represent the price or the value, I should say, of a certain amount of truffles that equals one of the pigs, and I'll have to do the math again. So it's that like 1 million point 2 something. It's on the garden scheduler here. It's the same ratio as far as I'm aware. 2,592,000. So that's what we're seeing here is just the piglet price is basically the price of 2,592,000, 2.592 of truffles to piglet price. There's some more stats here if you want to know the LP value. We always wanted to know that in the garden. So this is useful to see what our ratio is of pigs to US dollars to make an LP. and then what the LP value is, and then how many LP you have. Now, this is a really useful snapshot to keep track of. Remember, in the garden, this was something we really tried to keep track of. You'll see on my chart here, which this doesn't update all that quick. 1.222. So I'm actually right around here on the chart. Yeah, so I'm about here. So I'm creeping back up in the garden. But this daily LP revenue, or just how many LP you have, is a good way to measure things. This lets you know visibly that at least if your LP is increasing, even if the price of a piglet, truffles fluctuate up or down, however much, your LP should be increasing every day. There's a handy calculator down here. It seems like you can just input piglets and kind of see how many LP you're actually going to need, how many, as far as dollar amount you're going to need to get where you want to go as far as piglets are concerned. About $12 for 555 piglets. About $22 for 999. What if I wanted about 5,000? About $111 or 4 LP. So that's a handy calculator there. Good reminder not to give out your private key. You don't need that here. You can actually add multiple wallets, by the way. It doesn't just have to be the single wallet. You can add multiple wallets to manage and flip through. Remember to donate if you like all of the features here. Seems like there's some referral keys here as well, and you can subscribe to their YouTube. I've not checked their YouTube channel out. I guess he's talking more about developing this site that he has, and what new features are coming down the line. That might be something useful to watch. But yeah, right now this is the best little viewer I've found. He also has a section for the garden. I prefer the other scheduler just because I'm used to seeing it. It provides a good snapshot for me. But this one has a lot of useful information as well. And he also has one for DRIP, just for the faucet specifically, which is also helpful to look through. So, I would just give these a glance. I'll go ahead and let me copy the link out here. I'm going to put that in the description of this video so you have it. If you have any other further questions, jump in the Telegram group chat, also linked in the description. We'd love to have you. Love people asking questions. I'll answer if I can, or someone else will, or we'll direct you to some other Telegram group that's smarter than all of our brains combined. That can happen. Thanks for watching. I appreciate likes and subscribes. Keep coming back if you appreciate the content, and I will see you guys on the next video as we work through this crypto passive income journey. Hopefully I make some money this year at it. If not, you'll get to see me lose all my money, which may be just as entertaining. You never know. These are all gambles. These are all, just whatever. We're throwing money at it. We're seeing if it sticks. These projects specifically, though, the Forex Shark developer who's created Drip Faucet and the Animal Farm and the Piggy Bank and the Garden, these projects do have a lot of longevity under their belt. They've already been established. The faucet alone is over a year of running, and it's not hit zero. It's not just dead. And I still think it's going to swing way back up from where it is. I think we're just in a lull again, so I'm excited for that. I'm going to buy some more Drip. A lot of the other devs in the same space and the similar types of games and crypto miners and what have you, whatever you want to call them. All these other devs are exploiting, they're rug pulling, they're saying they got hacked and all your money's gone, or you were in Luna and it dropped to under $1. It's close to zero. It's under zero from the 80 something dollars it was. So people are getting wrecked left and right. The whole crypto ecosystem, all crypto, is just kind of suffering right now for the most part. The economy's not doing all that great. So the fact that Drip Faucet has lasted as long as it has, and the fact that some people are still making money at these things, and that the Piggy Bank just launched and he has all these new improvements and developments coming down the line, I'm excited for all that. I'm pretty impressed with what he's done. He's not the best at timeliness as far as launching this dev specifically. He's not always the best at communication, but the projects have been running. They've basically done what he said. He seems to have fixed things in the way that he said, and that keeps coming down the pipeline. So I still have a lot of faith in these projects and the dev. Excited to see where it's going. That's all I have to say about that. So you guys have a great one. I will see you on the next video. Appreciate the likes and subscribes. Stay safe out there. Thanks for watching.